I made YouTube videos damn near every week for 3 years. And recently I stopped making these videos on such a regular basis because I figured something out. Something just hit me. It was this realization that I wasn't really getting anywhere. And I suppose the realization was a culmination of things. Firstly, after 3 years of posting pretty much every week, I got to 1,300 something subscribers, yet my most recent video has something like 45 views or so. So it showed me that on this platform, if you make videos, consistency is not enough. And that is something I have always known, really. I mean, it's with everything in life. You can't just show up and do the bare minimum and think that somehow some magic is gonna happen and you're gonna get lucky or something and your channel or whatever project is just gonna take off and blow up and so on and so forth. So I kind of knew that all the time that I've been making videos, that these low effort videos are most likely not gonna really get me anywhere, but I kept making them anyway because, and this is the whole point I wanted to share this realization with you, it feels so comforting and so good to do something consistently and get that feeling of, hey, I am doing something. I am putting in work. I am not a lazy person who doesn't try to do anything outside of his regular job. I'm actually doing something with potential. And that comforting feeling is what has kind of kept me stuck in place in my life for 3 years now. But for whatever reason, I just suddenly had enough. And I dug up this old project of mine that I've been procrastinating essentially my whole adult life. And I'm not going to go too much into it because I'm done with telling the world and telling people what I'm gonna do. I want to just do things in silence and then the results will show. I don't need to speak and talk because people will see that, hey, I did some things and finished some projects. And for some people, it's fine to stay still in life, to stay in the same place, so to speak, and not really move forward, not really change or develop. But for whatever reason, I'm the type of person that I want to see change. I want to become a different person. Like, I don't want you to look at me now and look at me in 5 years and think that everything is the same. I'm the same. My environment is the same. I don't want that. For some reason, I get a lot more out of life if I actually change things and move forward. And I used to have that feeling, after finishing university and getting my first job, getting my second job, changing my career from a programmer to a project manager, changing a job again, I felt like I am moving forward. I am changing my life. And I even moved to the countryside into the middle of forests and fields, which is really where I belong. I love being here. And therefore, I'm probably always going to have at least a place in the countryside. But even that has now been 3 years ago. And it just hits me that I've been in the same job where I don't really see paths forward. This is a very good job. I'm very grateful and blessed to have this job. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, there's like nothing that makes me feel, oh, I get to grow. I get to develop, I get to evolve. And that has started to scare me recently. And then I thought to myself, where am I gonna be in the next 1.5 years? Because I've been actually at this job for 3.5 years. So 1.5 years, and it's been 5 years in the same job with nothing significantly changing. And that just scares me. It just makes me question everything about who am I? Like, I used to be this guy in my 20s that wanted to move forward and change his life and do something bigger. And now I'm just a guy working working this, dead-end job, basically, which is a good job, which is why I'm stuck in it, because I don't want to leave, really. I don't want to change to another day job. Let's just put it that way. I do want to work on my own projects. I do want to create things, and that's what I'm doing currently, sort of behind the scenes, that I'm not really sharing on this channel. But when it comes to being employed by somebody, I don't really want another job. I kind of want this job to be the last one I'm ever going to have. And that's kind of ambitious, but if I want to make that reality, I can't just show up once a week doing the bare minimum of just talking to a camera and writing a book, which, well, I'll get back to that later in another video. But anyway, I can't just do the bare minimum and expect my life to be dramatically different from most people's lives. Whew, that sure was a long-winded way of saying something as simple as the bare minimum isn't gonna cut it. It's not gonna change your life. Well, no shit, right? But yeah, the point was the illusion of progress, the feeling that, hey, I'm putting in work. Because when you do it on a weekly basis, making a video every week, it has felt like I'm doing something, but it's 3 years and I'm not even close to getting monetized. And have I really even improved? That's another question that people should ask. If you do something consistently for years, have you been improving? Has something changed? Have you learned something? Well, and by the way, as a last point for this video, one of the main reasons I started this channel was because I wanted to not be afraid of putting myself out there, of being in front of people, because I've always been a massive introvert. So I wanted to become someone who's able to present himself and speak in front of people without fear, without anxiety, without feeling small, if that makes sense. And so here I am. And that's actually the best thing about making YouTube videos. I have no regrets about this, because I have learned that I can make videos now about anything with my own face and my own voice, because I'm so used to it. So at least I learned that. So anyway, I hope you get something out of this. If you do, please do leave a like for the video and consider subscribing. And let's see when I make the next video. I try not to take too long of a break. I think one video every 2 weeks or something makes sense. Maybe sometimes I do more, sometimes less. But in any case, now I gotta prepare for running, because I'm training for a marathon again. Then I'm gonna do my gym workout, and then I want to work on the project, the creative project that I'm more excited about than I have maybe ever been about anything. Like, it's actually so cool that I'm doing something kind of difficult, but it's creative and it's demanding, but it doesn't feel like work, because it's just so fulfilling because of the creativity, I suppose. Anyway, that's enough talking. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.